There, that didn't take long, did it? I'm back. And I'm back. I don't think it's for a rant. At least there isn't any need for it to be a rant, but I don't know where I'll end up. But as I was strolling through Twitter this morning, I noticed something about. They say shooters, don't they, in America? I don't know why. Well, okay. I noticed something about a shooter who apparently was enraged because he was in pain and went and bought a gun because he couldn't get painkillers. Now, I'm not sure if this is the same guy that there was a shooting in a church in Iowa. But what I noticed was I had to go and Google mass shootings in the US to be able to see what was what, and they're daily. They're coming so often that it's difficult to keep up, and it just, I think you could look at any other country in the world and not find that. I don't understand. I really don't understand it, and I really don't know why it isn't changing. And people shout Second Amendment at you or whatever it is, our right to bear arms, and constantly, but change nothing. I've just watched a video of a mum in the school shooting from the last week with mainly Mexican children, who actually had to run in and rescue her children because I'm going to say enforcement officers, because I don't know whether they were police officers, were all outside the school and doing nothing. And they tried to arrest her. They handcuffed her, and then somebody said, "No, take her handcuffs off." They took her handcuffs off, and she managed to go and rescue her children. She could hear where the gunfire was and rescued her younger son, and then she went and rescued her older son, and there's a bit of video footage of her running back out. What were the people holding guns doing? Not standing outside a school doing nothing. Why? What on earth is going on? I really don't understand. And as you can hear, I'm keeping calm because ranting is not going to change anything. But I wonder whether something is ever going to change. Whether people will actually begin to see, oh, hold on a minute. We're the only country in the world where this happens, because you are. And there will be patients in France or in the UK who are in pain and maybe are not getting their needs met, are not their pain needs, right to analgesia isn't being met by their doctor or their surgeons, but they don't go out and buy a gun and shoot people. People don't walk into schools here and shoot people. The one and only time, and I'm going to say one and only in my lifetime, because I'm sure it didn't happen before, but in the UK it happened once, and it was in 1990, 1996, 97, 98. I can't remember the exact date standing here, but I know that I was doing my nurse training. I know where I was when it happened. I know where I was when I looked at the headlines of a school in Scotland, Dunblane, where a guy had gone in, and I think it might have been one of the teachers had just, and I can't remember how many children it was now, just massacred a load of 5 to 7-year-olds. And that was then. And what happened was there was an amnesty that meant you can bring your guns. Anybody that's got guns, you can bring your guns and we'll take them. We won't ask any questions. And those people that had guns handed their guns in. And we haven't had a school massacre since. We've not had a mass shooting since. Not by, mad people who are in pain or angry teenagers who want to go back in and shoot their teachers, or people with mental illness. Every country has its fair of fair share of people with mental illness, but they don't go out shooting people. It's not normal. It's abnormal. And I, again, I know I said this some weeks ago, but the trouble is it keeps coming up. I don't understand it. It's very confusing for us looking in. It's very confusing for us thinking, why are you not doing anything about this? Why are you not saying, okay, that's, it must be the guns that are causing the problem. And I know Trump and others talk about, beat guns with guns, or that they ought to have patrols in the school with guns, or armed bodyguards in the schools or whatever. But there were all those armed men outside that school doing sweet fuck all. So that's not going to work, is it? The woman who went in and saved her boys was braver and more courageous than a group of people outside with guns. So I feel very sad that's happening in the US, and I feel really confused that it happens so much that it doesn't become big news over here any longer. And I feel really sad that I need to have to Google to look at timelines to see what happened on this day and what happened on this day. I think it was Memorial Weekend. I think it's been, and I think it is. I don't know whether it still is or whether that was last weekend, but something like there were 4 mass shootings during Memorial Weekend. And I'm not a royalist and I'm not doing the Jubilee. This is a 4-day weekend in the UK, and I absolutely don't think there will be a mass shooting. If there is, I'll be absolutely horrified and very wrong, and I'll eat my words. But I don't think you'll find that there will be a mass shooting in the UK during this 4-day celebratory period of the Platinum Jubilee. So I don't think any of you can come and explain this to me or convince me that this is correct. I don't think any of you can come along and say, well, actually, this is why we do it and this is why we can have it and it's fine, because it isn't. It really isn't. So stop kidding yourselves. It's not okay. There. Shutters are closed at the front. It's very hot. We've got storms forecast, and I'm going to go back indoors where it's cooler. And yeah, let me know how this is okay, because it's fucking not.